Pen and then Rabadon Fort. Or I would try the Ludens into Horizon Focus, and then into Pen.
So what's the benefit of Horizon? Is that just more against teams that I'm not running Lichbane into?
The difference is that Horizon Focus is more if you play with range, so you play against people that have high range. Lichbane is can be more useful against people that get into your range that you can, do auto tech rotations.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say against low range team, I would try Lichbane, and against high range team, I would try Horizon Focus. But Ludens plus Horizon Focus, at least I tried it on Ziggs, I tried it on Talia, I tried it on on Iriana. These two items together just feel good, and the curve that you go then into the flower, right, for an extra ability haze, just I don't know, it just feels good,
Yeah.
If you're not a burst heavy mage like a Kali or Syndra or something, or any that you want the pen item, right?
Yeah. Okay, because
But again, this is
this
all
is the first I've
speculation.
heard of it because I've never even I've never built Horizon Focus on Viktor before.
Yeah, but that is all like speculation. I don't know for sure.
Yep. Okay. I mean, it's still super early in this patch, I suppose. Did you coach this this season?
Yes.
Oh, how'd you go with that?
We ended up top 4 in Europe,
Oh, nice.
so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, but it's not LEC/LCS. It's still second, kind of like you could say second division.
Yeah. I guess it's Zed jungle. Maybe I can go scaling here. Triple Tommy, what do you think?
Yeah, against. Wait, it's that jungle?
It looks like Zed jungle,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
Hui
Hui.
mid.
Yeah, against Hui, you can definitely go scaling and you go Horizon Focus build because you want to play with range this game.
Okay.
I mean, you can also just decide to build what you think is best,
Yeah.
like what you think is like. Don't worry about it. The things that you do in game are irrelevant to what items you have usually, until at least Master Plus.
Yeah.
But anyway, enjoy the game,
All
focus
right.
on it, right?
Yeah.
And let's go over it afterwards.
All right. Sure thing.
Yeah, just tell me what's your plan in lane and how do you plan to win the game?
My plan in lane is to really just poke with E and not take too many trades. I think he outranges me in a lot of ways, but I can get an advantage over him in lane. And hopefully just build up a CS lead. And then in the game, the plan is to play alongside Twitch and Tarek in team fights and just provide the most amount of meaningful damage I can to win the fight.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
What did you think of the game?
I played like shit. Played like shit.
Okay. You know I can't take just that answer, right?
Yeah, I know you can't take that answer. that's that's my surface answer. I fucked up my lane early on. Bad trading. Lost tempo on a few. Didn't base at the right time. Pretty much every time I base was not the right time to base. Died in the side lane to Zed when I should have just ran back. I knew he would come. And instead of running into the top push there, I should have just ran all the way out of lane. He would have just wasted so much tempo there. And then I thought maybe we had an angle later in the game there. I didn't know whether if I stayed with my team, we probably would have hard won the fight, but I think we would have lost our last Nexus turret. So I decided to just base and push out the wave and just let my team do whatever silly shit they were up to. And I think we probably lost the game there when I went bot. I stopped the minions from taking my Nexus turret, but we ended up losing Baron. Maybe it was just better for me to stay with the fight, and I don't know. I actually don't know what to do in that spot. So,
Got it. Got it.
but I didn't set myself up well that game at all, really.
Okay. So let's go through the game.
Yeah.
So first two levels slash basically your whole laning phase, okay, is that what you need to play in a lane, right, is you need to play the lane with intent. Okay. Intent means with a plan of execution. Okay.
Yeah.
So how does that work? Okay. It works in a way that the lane depends, of course, on other factors like minions and stuff, but the key factor are cooldowns. Okay. And then what happens is that you need to know in a matchup who's the one pressuring. Okay. So who has the one that has control over the lane, right? So in this lane, like you mentioned before, is Hui has the control. Okay.
Yeah, he does.
So when an enemy has a control over you, right? What you want to do is you want to focus always on farm and you want to punish mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay. When you are the one in control, then you want to deny farm and pressure.
Yep.
Okay. So this is really, really important because all your decisions that you were doing in laning phase, when it comes to trading, what I would call is it's random. So what you do is you just throw a spell without purpose, throw a spell to hit someone, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens is that person can deny you farm, and if you miss the skill shot, you even get more pressured, right? And then you basically try to compensate that by, trying to dodge, and it's a flip. If you manage to dodge, it's fine. If you don't dodge, then your lane is fucked, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not the order of things that should happen in a lane like this. In a lane like this, it is if both people hold their cooldowns, who benefits?
Uh, um, my answer to that would be Hui.
No, it's you.
Why?
Because if both people hold their cooldowns and both people are farming for free,
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
Like he does not apply damage to you with auto attacks. So if he does not use spells on you, you will be able to get every CS.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. That makes sense.
But if you use a spell, then what happens? You give him an opening to punish you.
Hmm.
The same way, if he uses a spell, then he gives you either the opening to punish him or to get free farm.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It makes perfect sense.
Okay, so now let's see how that works in practice. Okay, so let's look at the first two levels, right?
Yeah.
So you'll see what I mean by doing that in practice, because every matchup works this way, you know. So we auto This is good. Now he uses E. And now you can choose. You can punish, or you can focus on last hitting. That means you match the damage on the wave with your E, right? And you choose to punish. Fine. That one's good. Okay. We last hit. We last hit. Okay. This is good. Now his spell is up again. Your spell is up again, right? And you see now you use the spell, right? And here, this, for example, this click that you did to him, right? So we will see. So here, when you use the spell, if he's not boosted and he clicks into you, you will take 1/3 of your HP damage. Why? Because he just walks to you and does QQ and you get hit.
Yeah, and
Can't dodge.
I felt this as well. I felt.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I knew I
So
fucked up
you
there.
using this E is a mistake. Does that make sense?
In the same way that him using his first one was a mistake as well.
No, him using the first one is just he does it to basically get the push,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
So you get punished. Not that much, but you get punished, right?
Yeah.
Then we go again, right? Let's see. So now he's gonna hit level 2. You decide here to use your spell first, and then you're in the minion wave, right? Taking damage when your spell is on cooldown, and he's basically in Uganda. He should step up here, and he could again do 1/3 of your HP damage.
Yeah.
When you use your E first. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Okay. So now we last set. We last set. Okay. He doesn't pressure because he doesn't, think about cooldowns. Now he used his spell, right? And now we see here that we didn't punish him at all. Does that make sense? Because if you
After he
don't
used his
use
Q.
a spell after he uses his spell, then you miss the window, and now his spell is gonna get back up, which means that your spell is up, which means that the window when his spell was down was not used.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So how every sequence in lane should be is that he should, use the spell first, right? If you want to punish him. And sometimes, like you did here with the E, right? You can punish him, but what a good way will now do when you used E like this on him is you will not get these 3 minions. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah.
So you
That's pretty
sacrifice
much what
these 3
happens.
minions to damage him, right? Which is not good, right? That's not what you want to do, right? You decided I'm not gonna give these 3 minions, and then you said I'm gonna trade it for this HP. Normally, you could be diveable now.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you see, every single choice that you made, and this continues then through other levels, right? I just showed you the first two because you have the least amount of variables when it comes to, junglers, support roams, etc., because you're 1v1 and you have only 1 or 2 spells, right?
Yeah.
And every single time it comes to like this, it's like if he uses the spell first, you can punish. If you use the spell first, he can punish, right?
Yeah.
But your main goal in a lane like this is get the farm. The damage itself will happen only when you're getting free farm, and then he will do a mistake by using his spell to, I don't know, push a wave or fix a lane situation. And then you will add damage to him slowly, right? And of course, if he gets low enough, you pressure a kill, right?
Yeah.
But your main objective needs to be to get the CS. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I
For
typically say
example,
it's a lot better.
if you played, I don't know, something that has kill pressure, it's in Talon, Zed, some assassin, Silas, right? Then sometimes what you do is you give these 3 minions, but the damage that he would take is not this much. The damage that you would do to him is this much. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because they're melee.
Yeah, because you do the combo and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it's a little bit of a different choice, and you have to make the lane volatile with those assassins,
Yeah.
right? Because that way, you can get ahead. Otherwise, if you just focus on farming, in a lot of cases, the mage will just get on top, right? So really, really important is that you understand this choice that you're making, right? That's what I say. It's random. Is that every time you start with a spell, when the minions are coming to you, has no like you're basically making the choice. I'm gonna give the minions up to land 100 damage on wave. which is totally useless because at any point in time in this lane, he can shove the wave in base.
Yeah.
And no damage that you did to him will ever matter. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
My focus should just be on 10 CS per minute, really, or as much as I can squeeze.
Yeah, but it's not like I'm not telling you can't kill him. I'm just telling you focus on that. And whenever he makes the mistake of using the spell first and missing it, or on the minion, or one for one minion, or he just throws it and you dodge it, right? In pro play, what we do is we bait a spell out, right? Because we're confident in reading the opponent and sidestepping it, right?
Yeah.
And then we punish, right? But we never start with us using our cooldown first in a matchup that is losing, because when we do, we become, in most cases, on a logical level, a useless piece of shit.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Which I fully prophesized into this game, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Next 4 minutes, your first buy, right? Whenever you're in a lane that, um, like there's a few options you can go. Okay. So there are lanes where you're gonna get hit by spells, right?
Yeah.
Which means that it's good that you have sustain, so spells that are undodgeable, right? There are lanes where you can, you know, dodge the spells, right? So boots can be very valuable. And there are lanes where there's nothing really to dodge and you can go pure damage. Okay, there's three options that you have, you
Yep.
know? So the option of the movability if you need to dodge spells, boots, upgraded boots, right? The option if you need sustain, always refillable is by far the best, you know? Get refillable in and complement whatever items you can. And then if you want to go for pure damage, this item will always outdamage this item, you know,
Yeah.
for trading.
Sure.
Okay, X stack. Okay, so those are your kind of like your three options,
Yep.
because in practice, Viktor does not have mana issues, and the reason for it is because he can at any point in time choose to do a ultimate reset, which I'm gonna show at 520. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. But here you kind of choose a little bit mobility, a little bit like this 5 ability here is this fucking item gives you is meaningless, you know?
Yep.
Like just get the refillable, right? Get through the lane, and then you can after, if it's a lane you're struggling in.
Yep.
Okay, 435. Here what happens? Okay, you have a slow push going, right? And then here what happens is you land some damage, right? But the problem that you did, you know, is that you're not paying really attention to the wave management. Okay, so what's gonna happen here? So what's gonna happen here is that actually no, actually I'm trolling. Okay, no, this example is shit. My bad. You did good here. The thing is just he used the ability and we could pressure a little bit more, but I think you freeze the wave here, so it's good. Yeah, yeah. No, okay. You did good. You did good. Except of course getting hit by spells, but
Yeah.
other than that, you wave management. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one, 525 here. What you need to utilize when you hit level 6, for example, here. Okay. You need to utilize the ultimate reset. Okay. So what happens here is I'll teach you how to base. So first of all, whenever you base, you need to always look at enemy player. Okay.
Yeah.
If he doesn't use any spells here, then you finish the base. The moment you see him use this spell, you cancel the base. Why?
Because I'm gonna lose minions if I complete the reset.
Yes. And because he used the spell, he does not have a spell anymore. Same thing as level 1, level 2. You know?
Yep.
So he actually, if he uses the spell here, you can stay and now use your spell. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. If he wouldn't use it, then you finishing recall would mean that he wouldn't push it in time before you come back with items. Sounds good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you really, really want to force a reset, now here at this HP, I completely understand and agree with you that if he lands something on you, you're one shot when he hits 6,
Yeah.
But because you have a level advantage in this very specific case, you could have actually easily just ulted, the wave, and you would have killed the cannon wave, and this is how typically Victor's gets level 6. Very similar to how a Smolder would level 6 just ult the wave in base. You know? Is
Yeah.
you ulti, you E, the wave is gone, you base, and if he tries to match it, he would use all his mana too, and then the lane becomes just two mana-less champions. Doesn't matter the HP.
Yeah.
Okay, now we go to mid game. Okay, 14, 15. Here we kill Hui, right? And
Yeah.
then what we decide to do is we decide to base.
I'm
We
worried
have
about I'm worried about
TP.
Zed.
Doesn't matter about that. Like if Zed here is coming mid lane, right? First of all, he has to stay here around 10 seconds before the next wave comes, right? Your W is gonna get back up, and what you do against Zed, which you probably don't know the interaction,
Yeah,
is whenever
he
Zed
ults
goes
behind
on
me.
Victor, you just W on yourself.
Yeah, I know that, but I like even if I just think at that HP and given his state, if I stay there, I'm dead no matter what.
You're basically afraid of your lives, but you understand that if Zed wanted to kill you, he would have to hit every single thing 100%, right? Both his shurikens. He could not use his W ult. He has to use ulti to you, not W ulti, because W ulti doesn't give him enough damage to kill you, right?
Am I not?
That
Am I wrong in saying that? Like I'm already 50% health, so it's a lot easier for him. Like I understand if I'm
he's jungle Zed. He's not mid lane Zed. Mid lane Zed, I agree, but not jungle Zed. Jungle
yeah
Zed here is level 9.
yeah yeah okay
You see my point?
yeah I see
Jungle Zed is way weaker than mid lane Zed because he's way lower level.
yeah
Okay, so what this extra wave would give you, right? You would, because of the death timer, you wouldn't really lose anything regarding the lane, right? The only valid reason here that you would be basing is if the switch would realize and go mid lane, then your base is good because then you base and TP bot, you know.
yeah sure
But because this switch is not moving mid, your base is irrelevant, you know,
hmm
and you're just giving, like you're basically losing the opportunity to deny enemy mid laner resources. And if enemy jungler comes to you trying to stop you, you say thank you very much because you buy your jungler time to do something while the enemy jungler can't, and you don't lose anything for it because even if Zed chunks you, you can like back and TP or just back and walk because of how long Hui is dead. You know,
yep
it's just a missed opportunity. Okay, 1450 here, really, really important. You have to accept something. This is really, really important.
yeah
Every single role has their own job. Your job as a mid laner is not to take objectives.
yeah I figured just because I had
Okay?
nothing to do here, the waves in.
Yeah, I'm not saying that here you throwing your spells at something is bad, you know, right? Like
Mm.
me, preferably, I would get a second ward on top side, you know, and I would get some plates, way better gold than just fucking
The
Drake,
plates are
you know,
down. The plates are down.
or the blades are down. Then just get the second ward, you know.
Okay.
But what's most important here is that you're forcing your team into a play, you know,
Yeah.
and that is not good. That is never good because the jungler should be the one deciding are you gonna do Drake or not, you know. And here, when you do this, now your time is done, and you should go back to mid,
What? Not help him DPS it?
and you should push, and you should no. What you never help junglers take Drakes or Heralds or stuff like that, except Baron and Elder. Why? Because what you're doing right now is if Wei is coming now, right? He's gonna take this wave, and then he's gonna push the next one, and then they have entrance to stop something from happening, or fight you here so you can't and you lose a wave. But if you're here on the wave now and you kill the next one with your E, right? Then
Yep.
what happens? It will never be able to walk to Drake anyway.
Yep.
Do you understand?
Yeah. Sure.
So you
Yeah.
protect the Drake way more by pushing the next wave than you staying here and hitting it.
Okay. So, are you saying that my job as Victor is really to never DPS the Drake? I'm playing more
You cannot say
control.
never. I said there's Elder Drake, there's
Oh yeah, but
um
just
there's Baron, you
like
know.
I suppose what I'm trying to understand is my role is more to keep the pressure on the minion wave in mid, so which makes it harder
No,
for them to.
what I'm saying is that what you're thinking that your role in securing this Drake is to DPS it. What I'm saying, if you do that, then you give opportunity for enemy to walk here, and in river, Viktor is very, very weak at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
Okay? You're very easily gonna get CC'd, you're gonna get Flash Rakan ulted, you're gonna get killed. You understand?
Yep.
Like you're here in a weakness, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But if you're on mid lane, you have more open space, more to walk, harder for enemy to go on you. Most likely you're gonna be 1v1 with someone, right? And you can fight them, then you're strong.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And if you are on mid lane, an enemy decide to walk through here to Drake, it is very, very simple for you to move and the enemy mid laner to be stuck here because he has waves to catch. So you create a man advantage. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
So what I'm saying is if you're here an assassin like an Akali, you still wouldn't DPS the Drake. Your position would be in this bush and you would wait, you know? And if they come, you fight. But as a control mage, you prefer to fight around lanes, not in jungle.
Yeah.
And if your argument is, but I can get this Drake faster because I use the spells. No, what you're doing is you're using your cooldowns, and then when enemy come, you're a useless piece of shit.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense.
Yes. So that's your role in taking Drakes. It
Sure.
is not to DPS them. That's why if you're like, I don't know, Tristan or something, you can. Why? Because you don't use actual skills to DPS a Drake. You just use auto attacks.
Okay.
You know?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. 1630, when you go top lane here, right? Very, very important. You just need to understand the basics of mid game. Okay? So
Yeah.
what happens here is I know you saw Zed, right? And then here it is always a choice. Okay? So there's two sides to every side lane. There's a strong side and there's a weak side. Okay? And the side which one is stronger or weak side depends mostly on where the jungler is. Your jungler is going bot, which means this is gonna be where we're gonna have the man advantage and it's gonna be a strong side. And this is gonna be the side where we're not gonna have people, and this is gonna be the weak side.
Yeah.
Okay? And just simply remember, if your jungler is on the opposite side, you're the weak side, your goal is to grab CS, survive, and not die like a bitch.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
You know? And of
Yeah.
course, there's
I
ways
knew
you
I
can
fucked up
have
here.
vision, you can cheat waves, right? But you can never on a weak side, except if you're really fed, right? Play for a kill and then be like, oh, why is that here and why is not Lee Sin here? Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I wasn't saying that Lee should have been there. I know I fucked up here.
No. Yeah, but this is just a very basic concept, When you're on the weak side, just don't play for the kill, except if you have all the information where everybody is.
Yeah.
Could
Yep.
have had, I don't know, 3 wards in bot lane and you see that, and then of course play for the kill, right?
Sure.
But you need info. Okay, 19 minutes, same situation. Okay, so here, listen is top. They're playing like he's playing for, I don't know, top camps or something, right? And you and Tariq are just going here, right? Trying to go to the lane, just go safe way, go around, don't take the blast cone, get to the inhibitor tower, check the tower first, this tower is gone, get under that tower, then use the E to clear the wave and hunker down.
Yeah.
You're on weak side. But you're playing as if this listen is teleporting to you, this Ilau is teleporting to you, this Twitch is flanking.
Yeah. This is just a
Does that
bad
make
death.
sense?
This is just a bad death in that base.
Yeah. But
So
it's the same concept as
where do I
before.
go here? Just push it down mid with Twitch, considering the
No,
inhibs.
you should have you should have just went around, get to here, and then throw your E. There's no way they can push. If you're really scared, just use your ult.
Yep. Yep.
Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay. And 2120. Okay. So here, this one is a key concept that you really, really have to understand. Okay. So here we're mid lane. We get the E. good. We get a little bit of the wave, and then we immediately start moving to the fight. Always use your E to push the wave.
I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Oh goodness.
Like this is really important.
I normally
It's
would there.
all
I don't know
about
why I didn't.
okay, like it's all about pushing the wave. First push the wave, then join the fight.
Yeah.
You know,
That
if
that
you're a control
concept I
player.
do know. I don't know why I didn't apply it there.
Okay, okay, just apply it. 23, right? Here, what's gonna happen now is you're gonna overgroup. So the same concept as before, you know, is you get the items and then you just run with your team here, right? You have TP in 30 seconds. Shove the wave bot and be ready to TP.
Yeah.
Then what you do is you do the reverse. You join, you accomplish absolutely nothing. Then you take the wave, and now you're basing and fixing the wave that you could have fixed before.
Yep.
You see?
Yep.
You just went wrong order.
Yeah. I knew this wasn't right as well.
Okay. And then lastly, the team fight thing is that you need to just this one is purely like there's no way to ever teach this. You know, like teaching in terms of as a coach, like really making someone play a situation like a team fight correctly.
Yeah.
So here, whenever you join a team fight, the most important thing always is threat awareness. Okay? So
Yeah.
what does the enemy have? They have Rakan Flash ult, except if he had used the Flash before. They have Flash Mordekaiser ult, right? And they have Zed. So far, you see Kaiser, you see Hui, you see Rakan, you see Mordekaiser. You do not see Zed yet.
Yeah.
Okay? So what that means is that you need to either gather information or wait before you commit to a fight, you know, so you can see Zed. And here what happens is you go forward, Zed comes from the side now, which you should have blue trinketed here in the back, right?
Yeah.
But to gather information, right? And you're tunnel visioning on these people here. You see on the right, you're still clicking with Zed is killing your team, right? And now you click into the Mordekaiser,
I did
right?
try to laser
Trying
him
to
there.
hit the Zed, and then you tunnel visioned on Zed, which enabled Rakan to get a move on you too. You know?
Yeah.
So what this team fate shows is that you didn't respect Zed at the beginning of the fight, right? Then you because you tunnel visioned on the backline to follow your team, then you switched to the Zed too late, and then you forgot the Rakan that can threaten. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
So
Yep.
this threat awareness is something that is key, and like I said, it's not teachable because every situation is unique, depends on the champions and stuff like that, right? And this is why before the game starts, when you see the champions, you should always assess what can threaten you, so you learn to, you know, think about that during the whole game all the time. Like a veteran that comes back from the Vietnam War, right? And is constantly still aware that someone might like shoot him or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though he's in an environment that's safe, right? But he keeps that readiness that he had in Vietnam, where from any building at any time someone can kill him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it does not matter how much you are fed, what other decisions up to this point you do correctly. If you cannot play the team fights as a control mage, it's very unlikely you're gonna win. You know?
Yeah. Yep. Makes
Do you have
sense.
any questions?
No, I think we've covered pretty much the main points of the game that went bad for me there.
Okay, so the key points. Play the trading with intent. Like we said, understand who has to throw the spell first and what your goal in lane actually is, right?
Yeah.
You utilize your ultimate as a reset tool if you have to, or clear the wave tool. Then in mid game, don't waste your time helping the Drake for no reason, and understand the strong and weak side, right?
Yes.
Push the waves out as much as you can. Don't overgroup with your team, right?
Yep.
And then lastly, in team fights, threat awareness.
Yep. No, all makes sense. All makes sense.